Well, folks, welcome to Land Timber Stream. Happy Sunday afternoon. It is December 2nd, and we are having a good time. Been actually watching some streams this afternoon, and I see I need to fix something as usual. The reason this comes up a lot is because I've started doing this thing like before I start streaming where I put the streaming soon. And so when I do that, unless I start earlier, I lose my little adjustment time here on the image. So sorry about that, probably a little washed out, but I'm getting grayer. I recently had a birthday, and yes, I am getting grayer. So that may not be an effect. That may be just IRL catching up on me here. But hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Also, I lost my other frames, my cheap. That's why I'm not allowed nice sunglasses, because I've bought them before and I lose them, so I'm not allowed to buy those anymore. Here we go, mentors in the house. Good to see you, man. We were talking earlier about Christmas lights. Got those up, got a hankering. Well, got home later than I expected to. That's why I did not stream the rest of the day yesterday with PFR. So I got home later from our social events. Then we got sort of in a mood to take care of some things. Psychedelic background, I know, right? These are the new Mac OS 10 Mojave wallpapers. They're pretty slick, man. Pretty slick stuff. Psychedelic, dude. But yeah, so I was up late till like 3 a.m. and got up slowly this morning, took care of some errands. I did start some studying, though. We've got 29 days to go till the written. So we're under 30, down to under a dirty 30 here. So we really gotta hit it. And I did finish my lab. It was, like I said, it was 3 a.m. I was not gonna stream late last night. So between finishing up some labbing with PFR and doing lights and whatever, we're just now getting to stream. Also, earlier today, I was watching both Dimitri Fiegel and Tony E were streaming. I was watching them and commenting simultaneously. I know Mentors was there too. Great streams, though. Good stuff, good content. And here's where we are. So target dates starting as of today, of course. We are letting go of networklessons.com for now. And I've put aside 9 days to read the Evolving Technologies Guide, read and review, and I have started to do that. As a matter of fact, today I started, and the first chapter that is in the book, let me just kind of go over the book for it. Later I'm going to do a thorough review. I'll try to keep it brief, but I have already finished 1 of 3 chapters. This course is in Safari, which is part of my acm.org subscription. But I'm already through IoT, done. And I tried to take it slow also doing that. So, oh, this is interesting. First time I've had this happen today. Okay, let's go back. So I have to go to this page first. I cannot log in directly. So I have to go to Learning Center on acm.org, which is fine. I don't really care. Heck, I'm getting a really good deal. And then I click on Safari. We also have Skillsoft, right? Is that book not close to 1K pages? No, this book is short, man. And so far, now I don't want to completely judge the book, because I don't want to judge a book by its cover, literally and figuratively, but and let's see what we gotta get. Don't the ego, don't cross the streams. It's tough, man. Like I referencing Ghostbusters, good stuff, man. That's hilarious. Yeah, I debated streaming now because I was hosting Dimitri, who I think he has at one point like 14 people on his channel. But I realized, you know what? Instead of waiting for him to finish, I'll just go ahead and stream, and people can watch both. As a matter of fact, folks, if you're not aware of it, the Ego and I were talking about this on Discord a little bit. There's a multi-twitch.tv URL that you can use, and you can put in DM Fiegel Inland Tamer. And you can do this with as many I don't know what the limit is. It may be 8. I'm not sure. Oh, does that work still? Does it not work anymore? Did they take it offline? Oh, interesting. Well, that's a bummer because, first of all, you can still do this on your own. Lurker.tv/multi. Let's try that. Don't worry, man. If Nightbot manager will bring you back. Sorry, they don't give you much granular control over Nightbot and community, so looks like how to get count as a viewer. Oh, yeah. So this is interesting. Twitch, and I don't want to go too far down this road, but Twitch has changed sort of their behavior of how they count viewers. So it used to be, my music is still playing, isn't it? I'm hearing music in the background. It's probably gonna get me. Okay, I closed it. It probably opened the regular just Twitch page, and when you go to twitch.tv, it takes you to, they automatically start playing a stream for you, which is okay, I guess, if you're trying to discover new streams, but I'm usually not. Anyway, they changed how you count viewers. So if you have a screen up and you're viewing a stream, what it will do is, after a while, let me see what this is doing. One moment, folks. Into the stream separated by a, okay, let's try this. DM Fiegel. Basically, they're timing out viewers like pretty quick. And they're doing that because obviously, you know, they don't want streamers to get credit. Doing that because obviously, and I can hear my own stream. Yeah, okay, so that works. Nice. Thanks for sharing that. So the thing is, they basically, if you like open up a Twitch screen and you're viewing a channel, you're counted as a viewer, right? As long as you're actively viewing. What they're trying to do though is they're trying to, you know, and they will pay, like if you, I don't know, because I don't really get paid at all, but the professional streamers know all about this. And essentially, if they have a viewer and they play a commercial, for example, they get part of that credit. Yeah, this is good to know, man. So what happens now is, if like you can open a window and watch a stream and minimize a window, basically it stops playing the stream, which makes sense for Twitch. Like, why should Twitch deliver content to you and pay for content to be delivered to you through one of their CDNs if you're not really watching? So that's what they're trying to figure out. And people used to manipulate that as well. So yeah, this is nice because instead of making me do all the work, like I can set this up on my own computer. Like I can do that myself. I can go pop out the windows, arrange them on screen. But it was always nice to be able to just go to a site, type in the URLs, and go right to it. You can be careful about providing any creds to third-party sites. Interesting, yeah. So anyway, so I thought, well, you know, I'll go ahead and stream because people can watch both, right? The audio gets tricky, but that's okay. You know, like I said, everything I stream is pretty much put later on YouTube anyway. So, and I'm still pretty bright over here, folks. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry. I mean, I'm already kind of, you know, bright enough. Like I don't get out as much as I'd like to. I'm not as tan as I would like to be, you know what I mean? So it's like, No need to write it anymore. Okay, that may help a little bit. Yeah, it does. It's a constant challenge. I found, I think, what I want to buy for a light. It's like $100, but I may buy that for myself as a holiday gift here. So it's already in my like Amazon saved items, and one of the streamers I really like, he uses it, so that may help with that. Yeah, you have to watch creds to third-party sites, especially on YouTube. YouTube will they will give you strikes in a heartbeat. Anyway, so this book, I will say, I've got through IoT, and it was really short, folks. So you've got the title page, and you basically have 3 chapters: Internet of Things, Cloud Fundamentals, and Foundational Network Programmability Methods. Internet of Things chapter was good. I enjoyed reading it. It was brief. And I will say, so far, I don't see enough coverage here. And not that that is the intent, but I definitely do not see the depth that you need to pass all the questions related to IoT on the written exam. Let me just say that. I hope the next 2 chapters are not that way. It does have some really good charts in here for learning, getting an overview of Internet of Things. I already kind of had that with networklessons.com, so and other materials. So if you don't have that, if you don't have a general understanding of Internet of Things, then yes, this is a good chapter to start with, this book. But it is not enough to, it definitely is not going to hit all the questions you're going to have in the written exam. And I could say that because I've already taken it twice. But you're going to need to go much deeper, I think. So I finished this chapter in like 2 hours. Now, the other chapters look longer. There were no exercises in this chapter. There were no, not that you could with IoT, really. It would have been nice to see maybe some, like Azure, Microsoft Azure has some IoT labs that you can do for free. I don't know if DevNet does. I think DevNet does have some IoT labs. But none of that was even in here or referenced in here. So that's a little disappointing, to be honest, so far. But I don't want to judge the book completely. I plan to do a full review when I finish reading all the chapters, which might be as early as tomorrow, to be honest. So here are some IoT. I guess we could lab some of this stuff. Sorry, I unchecked it. Mentor says, okay, that sucks. I should be covered more in deep dive for CCIE DevNet as well. Yes, absolutely it should be, because I found out for sure, at least on my 2 attempts, that I did not have the knowledge that I needed to correctly field those IoT questions. Bill, these have IoT tags. I don't know why. Cisco Kinetic, okay. I could see that. Kinetic Gateway, manage. Okay, so there are some labs here. But they don't even reference that in the book. Like, it would be nice if it said, I will say the security, so business transformation, digitization, there's 3 sections here. IoT fundamentals was good. Did not harvest much from those. Securing IoT, however, this is the best material yet I've seen on IoT security, to be honest. And I know I fell short on that during my written attempts. So at least this chapter will help me go farther in IoT security. So that is good. It actually got me, so I do recommend this section for sure. It's going to help, but I'm pretty sure it's probably not deep enough. So my next step is, during this 10 days, after I finish reading this book, I'm going to go into the matrix that they have out there on the Learning Network, if my browser lets me get to it. If it's not, if the SSL cert is working now. But I'm going to go out there and just go to some of the Cisco Live Learning sessions on IoT. So DevNet Labs are great. I would highly recommend you spend your own with DevNet. Yep, absolutely. So that's where I'm at on this Evolving Technologies guide. I stopped after IoT because I wanted to come back to yesterday. Although I did finish building the lab yesterday for PFR, I didn't really have a chance to digest it. So I wanted to cheat a little bit, take a little time from today, even though this is supposed to be moving on. I did want to go over this lab a little bit more and do some PCAPs because I haven't done any PCAPs. And so we're going to do that now. We're going to go over PFR under the hood and explore it a little bit. And we're also going to go over, I started a workflow diagram on this. I say workflow diagram, a processing like diagram. So I want to finish this also. And then this is going to be quick. Like I didn't want to do a mind map. I wanted to do a flow chart. And I just borrowed one from draw.io. This is not all my stuff. This is just, borrowing. This is a template. So we're going to kind of go over this and just see where it takes us. So performance routing. And we're just going to go through this a little bit here. Yeah, stop going to Cisco Learning because SSL cert. Draw.io is nice. It is. It's nice, quick, and dirty. And anybody can use it, right? So what I did is I wanted to sort of think through the phases of performance routing and how it works. And we're going to look at the CLI for this as we go. Yeah, let's just do that. So I don't know what my format is yet here. We're just going to free flow it, right, and see. So performance routing relies on different phases. There are different phases of the, I guess, machine state of PFR. And one, when you first turn it on, is sort of, we'll call it phase one. Profile / learning. It's called profile. So you're profiling your network. You're doing profiling, right? Profiling gets a bad rap, and it should in a lot of political realms. But in here, we're talking about profiling our network, right? Let's get a little music going too, guys. No reason we shouldn't. Tell me if it's too loud, too soft, too whatever. Or like if you can't hear it at all, but. All right, so let's walk through these phases. By the way, actually what I want to do too is let's get the lab working first. So I'm running this out of Azure because it is 11 routers. This was already built. I finished, we did the routing yesterday on stream. Last night off stream, I finished configuring PFR. So we're going to go in here. Let's just open up our windows. We don't have to really do any more building. We just need to turn on the interfaces because this is one sort of caveat that I found of, I don't know if it's Community Edition. I don't think it is Community Edition. I think it is Community Edition. Is that oftentimes the interfaces are coming up, especially in a larger lab, they're coming up shut down, administratively shut down. Even though the startup config has them on no shutdown. So let's just get it running. And we're going to do some PCAPs. But there's a lot of, it's complex. There's a lot going on here under the hood. So in order to understand it, I need to be able to explain it. And I can pretty much explain it, but I'm still very fresh, so I thought making a diagram here on stream and keeping for posterity, doing the PCAPs, observing the different phases and policy changes is going to be very beneficial. So that's what we're going to do here. One thing that got me kind of excited about PFR, first of all, it's kind of old. Like PFR, I think I don't know what the future of it is. I don't think any of us do. But it really is a good introduction to concepts of SD-WAN and software-defined networking in general. SD-WAN, SDDC, whatever. This is software-defined. This is, you know, having a controller, northbound, southbound communication at work. And you can do it with PFR on these images in your own lab. And you can start learning basically, you know, some of these concepts. And it's low level. So not only can you do SD-WAN, essentials of SD-WAN, but you can tweak and you can manipulate and observe at the CLI and with logging, with PCAPs. You have full visibility into exactly what's going on. Like, I don't know about some of the SD-WAN solutions out there, how much visibility you really have. Oftentimes you're given a GUI. And of course you're given lots of data and reports, but how, you know, low level can you go into the operating system that is actually performing the intelligent routing? On here you can go deep. So that I do like about PFR, and it got me excited about it. All right, so let's go back to this. Well, sorry, get sidetracked. Show IP interface. Let's just make sure all our interfaces are up. So that we can get this thing going. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do interface range on all these. Let's do this. Oh no, you're supposed to copy and paste for me. Only doing the same window? Come on. Oh, that's Community Edition. That's right. Clipboard Permission Manager. This can read and change site data on all sites. I want to say it looks like this is blocked. Yeah, what is up with that? Okay, there we go. Oops, wrong. Copy, paste, there we go. Oh, you know what? I need to start my tomato timer because I need to make sure I take breaks. We might be labbing for a few hours here, and my eyes are like really tired today for some reason. I didn't really get enough sleep, but even then, dude, for him, how are you, man? No problem. Lurk away, my friend. Lurk all you want. I'm like a professional lurker, man. I've lurked on so many streams. All right, all the interfaces are now up, and we should see if we send some traffic. Yeah, man, Boson is such a bully. We should start a Twitter campaign I'm going to tell you something too, dude, for him. So I've activated my boson license probably way too many times. And not because I've given it away. I haven't given it away to anyone. But I've got it on a VM here. And fortunately, now this thing runs really slow. I have a Windows 7 VM. Thank goodness I installed it here because they've swapped my PC a number of times, my work computer. And yes, I've installed boson on there to practice at lunch, things like that. I went to go activate it. I just got a new Windows 10 machine because the other one got kind of screwed up. So they re-imaged it, shipped it back to me. And I tried to install boson, activate it. It says, you're not authorized on this computer. So maybe I've activated it too many times because I've moved to different laptops. So I sent them an email. I can still run it here. I wanted to open it up and answer that question I sent you yesterday and find the link for it. I knew the answer, but I'm trying to give you links. And of course, the boson has the links. But now they're bullying me on the license. And yes, it's tough, man. I like it, though. Yeah, between like 3 machines, what's the limit? I have no idea what the limit is, Tigo. I've activated on more machines than that. And that's how many machines I've gone through since like August of 2017 when I bought it. I would do it just in case, Tigo. Have it somewhere that you're going to keep this around. I'm sure if I call, like I found out they're actually in Nashville, the home office. Not far from where I used to go for Cisco user group meetings. I know exactly where their office is. I do now. But they have an 800 number for support. I'm sure if I call them that they will fix it. But still, it doesn't hurt to put it on a VM just in case you have to wipe your hard drive or something. I have been very happy with the boson product. It does identify gaps, and when you first take the exam on there, it's very intimidating. Don't get discouraged, dude, for him. I don't know how many times you've taken it, but I ended up taking it many, many times until now. I could probably retake it, and I'd probably pass, but almost because I've subtly memorized a lot of the questions, which doesn't make it so effective. What's wrong with boson? You take their CCIE written exam. Very not worthy, lol. Yeah, it makes you feel like you take the real exam. It makes you feel exactly the same, right? I like that about boson or CCNA, yeah. But man, they cover a lot of tricky questions, which I like. Yeah, boson was harder or tricky on purpose, yes. And that's the thing, right? You know, like if you got a fail every time you took the boson and then you went and took the real exam and you passed, that means that it was being hard on you. But you want it to be. You want it to be harder on you than a real exam is. Now, I cannot say in this case that the boson was harder on me than the real exams for the CCIE routing and switching written, but because they're both tough, really tough. But yeah, learn why you missed the questions. And the great thing about it in boson is the links. So yeah, CCIE is a totally different game. That's so true. It's like another whole different contest. All right, so these are up. If I look at router 1, which is acting as a host, I should be able to ping the other end, which we did yesterday, 30.1.0.11. You have to generate a good bit of traffic for this thing to register. Oh, that's not good. Did I not turn on all the links? Oh, no shut. That's why. Oh, whoops. I did on that one. Yeah. There we go. And router 3 is the master controller. So the master controller. show PRF, sorry, PFR, master, and then you could say traffic class, for example. Show, okay, PFR, master. It takes it a while to converge, folks. .4, okay. You want to see your okay, your border routers are active, but authentication worked. All right, so good. We've got everything working. Now let's kind of break down the process some more. And essentially you have profile learning phase, and it learns these traffic classes, right? So we're just identifying the classes at this phase. Let's restructure this. We don't need these. I tried to find some good slides instead of creating my own. I couldn't find anything that really told me what I wanted. I even downloaded, now I have not checked this thoroughly. Let me check this thoroughly before we get too deep in here. I downloaded this breakout session 2042. There's some really good slides in here though, so it made me want to watch it. Routing protocol timers, BFD. It's talking about uptime in general. First top, performance routing. Okay, let's jump down to that. Oh, did we miss it? A lot of, you know, is good strategy on providing uptime for your WAN links. GLBP, it's good stuff in general, really. All right, PFR. So use reachability, delay, loss, jitter, and load to determine best path. PFR or components, border router, master controller, traditional topology, PFR enabled topology, hub, master controller, border router, border router. Found out, by the way, that there's a limit on these. INE PFR Seminar Part 1 and 2 are great references, water practice, and follow along with you, land. GNS3 offers some free labs. Oh, really? Let me look at that. I did not think about the workbook. The INE workbook, to be honest. You know, I've been so honed in on network lessons, I forget sometimes to check this workbook. I've been away from it for so long. This used to be a day-to-day. Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. This would fall under, would it be IP services? Not sure exactly how they break everything down. Well, the thing is that this workbook covers the written, I mean the lab blueprint. Now they have another course, a video course. Maybe it's in one of these other earlier versions. But they have in the written. Yeah, if you got some links, definitely hit me with those. These are okay. I watched all these videos. They're all right. It seems like they didn't really put a lot, I don't know. It left me wanting more, put it that way. So just seeing if there are any other, okay, yeah, see, it just briefly touches on performance routing here, unfortunately. So we're making our own. Phase 2. Is I don't know why it takes that line away. I like that line. This is measure, which includes yeah, we're no. Collect. Collect metrics. So this we're learning flows. So now that we know the flows, we're going to look at the metrics on those flows, right? And we're going to analyze performance. Yeah, so we're also going to learn and calculate our policies, basically. So these are our metrics. I'll find them posted on Discord. Thank you, mentors. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Any resources are always appreciated there. So in other words, these are our flows. These are our metrics on those flows. You know, what is our upper lower, right? So calculate metrics in accordance with policies. Okay, let's do some word wrap here. Help me out here, draw IO. Come on, work with me. I should actually be using the full version, which I have. Oh, we have a Kennedy theme. That's interesting. What is that? Let's save this. Mathematical typesetting. Interesting. Yeah, let's use the full version. There we go. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, let's wrap this bad boy. Not sure how we do this on here. Oh, we got the old pop-up here. All right, not gonna worry about that. And then the next phase is, of course, we're going to apply policy. No, no. Don't do that. It's a little like working with the old days of WordPerfect and show codes. Most of you here have no idea what I'm talking about. So this is where we compare metrics against thresholds in policy or out of policy, right? Okay, duplicate this. And phase 4. Yeah, control, enforce. This is the fun part. You know, all this is just talking about what we're going to do, and then here's where we actually enforce the policy, right? So we're going to get a little bit of that into detail, I think, hopefully here on stream, and watch this happen. Yeah, so influence traffic using either one, route injection, or 2, PBR. And we should actually be able to see this like in the routing table. We're going to look at routes. We're going to cause a policy, a threshold to go out of policy, and then we're going to watch performance routing inject a route into the routing table, and we'll see what that looks like in the routing table. And then lastly, we're just, verifying. Also, we're going to find that there are counters to these various phases and when they take effect. And that, I think, will be important for the exam, to just kind of know how these counters work. Verify. Also, what rules does it use, right? Like, what is the software-defined part? Like, what is PFR? What logic is it using here to, control and enforce? Like, it wants to change the impact. It wants to force traffic to go from out of policy to being in policy. How does it figure out how to do that? And once it does, how does it make that happen? That's what we're going to look at a little more detail. Verify. Yeah, so what it needs to do is monitor enforcement results, right? So we made this change. We need to verify that it's actually working or adjust again. Okay. So these are 5 phases, and let's put a little line, I guess, or some sort of connector. How about these arrows, these dynamic little, nope. Yep, then we go here. Let's do middle to middle. Delete that. You're ugly. You're out of here. Okay, good. And we're gonna get in a little more detail here. Not too crazy, but I just want something that I can look back on and recall, for study. Recall, oh yeah, that's right. That's how that works. Why did you go all the way over here, buddy? Oh, you're not in the middle. You are out of policy. You do not comply. There we go. So these are phases. So during this learning phase, what's essential here, I think, and we can map this part out now as kind of a sub-process, is how is that depicted on the other? That's all. Save often, folks. Flowchart. This is the one I used. Okay, it has a little, these feed into this process. It goes to another process, I guess. All right. So we're going to just create a side process here and essentially show the let's take something different. This is like a data operation, right? Or something like that. Okay. So we'll say master controller BMC. Yo. We'll have the PFR wrap. We're all done. I'm the MC. I enforce network policy. I won't get started. Don't expect anything here, folks. I'm just being facetious. All right. We have our master controller and we have our border routers. Triangle doesn't work too well there, does it? And what we're trying to show is really the, square. You're being so square. You're so inflexible. Don't be a square. All right, so you have border router. You need at least 2. And as I understand from Necrocubes, a flash card is that you can have up to 20. So we're going to show basically this communication here. And I'm not sure how that communication, like I know there's authentication. Yeah, let's just do this. We should use this, shouldn't we? Why do you go down there? That's kind of... So, yeah, here. Or, let's do this. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try to pull it off here. Line. And you know what? Let's click on that and just make our lines disappear. How does that work out for you? Okay, where's my redo? Thank you. Where did my panel go? Format panel. Yeah, it just kind of freaked out on me there. Style. We're clicked on our lines. Okay. I see what you're doing. You're pretty smart. Oh, I see. And because that shows a diagram, it takes away your other. It's context sensitive. So, all right. I'm seeing how you're working. I'm learning to work with you here. Draw.io. You're at times extremely intuitive, and at other times I'm like, huh? Okay, let's just take a single line here. All I want is a simple line. And where's my like double lines? Oh, I have to do this, then this, don't I? No? How do I do double line? Interesting. Simple line, Bob Ross. We need to channel our Bob Ross, don't we? Is that what you're telling me, Tigo? Yeah, we need to just go to back, and we still don't have an arrow, do we? All right, we won't worry about that right now. Because it takes skills, I guess, to do this, so. I would have to, all right, maybe this works. You better hope you select the right line because you're not going to really be able to change many of its properties. Copy, paste. Nope, I didn't want to paste that. I copied this, I thought. Okay, not so intuitive. You're losing a few points here. Draw that I hadn't really had much trouble with you before now. Draw.io. I use it at work sometimes. Also, when I'm interacting with people, I just want to do a really quick drawing. And again, I'm explaining something. So this communication here, we have, and we want to put a note that you can have minimum. Let's make it another note here somehow. Oh, that's a task. It is. Conversation. That's cool. I like that they. This is a little better than Visio. Visio, when you try to look at the shapes, sometimes the text is really small describing what the shape is, and you have to zoom in like 400 to see. Okay, cool. Because I don't remember what all these shapes mean. User task, okay. Group, yeah, all right, I like it. Oh, annotation, that's actually what we need here, isn't it? We don't want an arrow, though. No, maybe not. Ooh, that's kind of... Okay, that works, I guess. Wouldn't seem to me what you'd want for default behavior, but... All right, so this means we can have minimum master controller, minimum 1, max 10. Order router, minimum 2, max 20. Don't like the arrow there. Is it going to let me change it? That's the question. Oh, this is our arrow indicator here. Gotcha. I don't know what the other arrow does over there, but that's the first one I would pick. All right, folks, I'm just going to take a quick stand-up break. I'll be right back. Just shake the legs out here. Neck posture. Hashtag neck posture. And I'll be right back. We can transition to our quick visuals here. And we're back. All right, let's switch up the tunes here a little bit. Okay, so that's one thing I learned about that. And on the master controller, border controller, master controller, and border router, also here, interesting notes. MC-PR can be combined. MC not required in data path. In other words, you don't have to rely on the master controller to actually do any of the work of capturing, the flows, or it doesn't have to be a border router. So, okay, I want all of you. Thank you very much. What else? Yeah, so we have our interface types that we need to be aware of. So we're going to do another, since we'll do caption 2.0 here, since caption 1.0 did okay. And we'll do no arrow, good. We have our internal interfaces. So internal, obviously what those are for. We have external, and this is what external nets at least 2. And then we have local. So this used to communicate with master controller. Usually a loopback. In our case, it's not. In this lab, it's not. But okay. So let's check our configuration now. I'm going to save this real quick. On our master controller, if we do show run section PFR, you'll see here the keychain. So let me note that as well. Authentication is required. So we define our border router. We say that we're the master, right? Max range utilization percent is 10. Logging, and then we have learn. We're going to learn the delay, and we're going to use a periodic interval of 180. That is way too... I think that's too long. Yeah, for our lab, that's way too long. So we're going to say learn. Yeah, PFR master. Learn, sub configuration, right? Periodic interval is 1. So this is one of these clock cycles we need to be aware of. When we look at, let's see, profile learning, I'm trying to find which, I'm going to refer to another article on timers real quick. Yeah, so there are 2 timers for phase 1, the learning phase. And we're going to call this these are the components. Interesting, this one is message flow, huh? These are the components, and then over here we're going to set, call out the timers. So there are two different names for these. Let's use more boxes, more of these boxes. And this one's called sleep. Stored learned information. Store learned information, yeah, so. And this is the periodic interval command. And we saw that, right? Just there. Old. And duplicate this. Then we have another timer called the monitor period. I think it is hyphenated, right? Death by hyphen. And this is, oh man, it does that from time to time. No idea why. I just jump. Yeah, active prefix learning. So how long do you want it to learn, right? This is one that you're obviously going to dictate. You might change in your environment. You might accept the defaults. But, you know, when you think about it, I do a lot of this sort of discussion when we talk about on the F5. And we talk about monitoring, because monitoring, the F5 has, it can do performance routing. Or something similar to performance routing in terms of traffic flows. But oftentimes we're doing health monitoring, right? Is this up? Is this, instead of a bandwidth, we're looking at actually an application. So is this application up? And there's a certain period of time you want it to use before it takes action, right? Before you determine that the state is in policy or out of policy. Very similar sort of nature here. So the learning is essentially, let's look at, well, this is different, but again, we're going to be taking in information from our border routers. And how long do we want to sit there and sort of let the network, let the master controller learn what is going on our external interfaces, right? So for this, we're changing it. Oh yeah, so this is also, I can put a note here, sort of when to restart learning process, right? And the active prefix learning, yeah, I think by default it's 2 hours. And this is by 5 minutes, so if we change these both to 1, that means that we're going to restart the periodic interval every 1 minute, and as well as the learning of prefixes. So that's pretty frequent. Monitor period 1. But in a lab, you definitely need this, because a lab, you're going to see, and I saw this last night, it takes it a while to get it to run. There are two other timers I want to bring out. Again, a lot of this material, I'm just drawing this. I'm just making a drawing here based on what I've learned from networklessons.com and other sources. So let's see, one is the back off. Yeah, so back off timer is down here. When we are applying policy, no, actually, it may be here. No, this is it. So our back off, yeah, so when out of policy, how long do we try to find a new path? So, and I don't see, yeah, so there's a command is back off XXX. Let's say XYZ. And then there is a hold down timer. Yeah, so let's say that we're going to need to put processes here. You know what? I'm jumping ahead a little bit. We'll cover those when we talk about what this does when it applies policy, but we'll just put a marker here for now. Hold down. And you'll actually see this in the CLI output. It'll say back off or hold down. Okay? So we've tuned those down. And we should be able to verify that. Show PFR master. Let's just, I didn't really take time to do this last night. Let's just look at all the outputs. So show PFR master, OER. Notice we do have a reference here to optimal edge routing. So you might see this in an exam, right? And need to know what that is. Enabled and active. Connection status success. Port 3949. Note that. Let's do a capture here, folks. I have not captured this yet. Where did my lab go? Oh, he's down here somewhere. I want to capture this authentication process. So we'll probably just bring an interface down and then bring it back up. And we're going to capture here, I think. Oh, I need to connect to the IP address. So let's go back to Azure and look at the VM and have it tell us our IP address so that this Wireshark capture wrapper will work correctly. There we go. Let's gracefully log out. Okay, now I could have swore I pasted that correctly. Come on. Is that the clipboard manager acting weird here? Where did he even get an N from? What is an N? What is that? Click to copy. Copied. Okay. It has been copied. And now it works. Great. When you can't copy and paste, that's when you need to reevaluate your life, right? Looks like it worked on the second try though. All right, so let's take a PCAP here. If it'll let us, the cheese. Okay, come on, let us capture here. Yeah, 0, 0. All right, we get our little spammy windows. We're gonna put them in the corner over here. Get them out of the way because they just... Okay. 3949, that's our traffic. Seeing it already. TCP 3949, good. So we see continual traffic here, don't we? I don't know what we're gonna be able to see, but we've got some timestamps. We got TCP flow. So notice, folks, that we're using TCP. It does not call that out in the lesson. But we can observe that in Wireshark, sure enough, can't we? All right, let's restart the conversation. So let's go back here to router 4. Not much to configure here. We got the keychain, we say local border, and then we tell it our local interface, which is the interface pointing back to our master. So let's say interface GI 0, 0, or let's deconfigure it. No PFR border. And then we'll say PFR border, local GI 0, 0, master 10.2.3.3, key chain PFR. I'm just curious if we're actually going to see some sort of like hello. There should be a sequence number here, TCP sequence number. These are all ACKs. And this should be going 10.4.5.4. There's probably a reset here somewhere. Okay, Finn, yeah, here we go. And here's our SYN. So it's just a regular SYN. That's the only way we would really know. A SYN towards port 3949, which is a default, that we want to start a conversation. That is it. And that's all it shows in Wireshark, right? It doesn't know any better. TCP window update. Look at that. It's interesting. So it's probably not going to look very sexy in Wireshark, because all we're going to see is TCP traffic back and forth, right? Okay, that's fine. We're still going to create a capture here for our archives. You know, we got to turn in our little petri dish on what we've observed in the wild here. Let's mark. SYN, SYNAC, ACK. And we got data back and forth. Let's look at the data itself. Does this, yeah. First of all, we're using, I don't see any other fields to indicate encryption here. But yeah, it appears the data is, of course, encrypted. So we're not going to be able to, well, maybe. Gigabit 01. PX, I mean, I can't read all this, but there is, we know it's using authentication, or at least it's configured for that. And there is a good bit of conversation happening, right? All right, save as PFR, master, and border. Exchange. Cool. We'll leave that up. All right, moving right along to the process here. So collection. We need to collect metrics. And again, this is sort of defined, I think, by the... let me go back to this other page. All right, so we're going to be able to see what kind of traffic we're already experiencing on those interfaces. Oh, here's some things we can see too. Show. Yeah, we see the... Oh, this is interesting too, because once we shut down that border router, it said, hey, master controller is inactive due to PFR minimum requirements not met. Less than 2 external interfaces are operational. So it tells you right there. Show PFR master. All right, here are our learn settings. Learn is started. Time remaining in current state, 112 seconds. Looks like it's a maximum of 100 prefixes. Is that right? There's another command is we want to do show PFR master border detail. So this is according to the master, what are our borders? What is the detail of each of our borders? And as we can see here, 10.4.5.5 is active. Version 3.3, it has these, this is its external and this is its internal data interface. On the external interface, this is the capacity, 500K, because that's configured. You need to configure your, so that PFR knows, even if it's the same as the actual bandwidth, it should be configured on here. So this is bandwidth, right? Max bandwidth, bandwidth used is 0. Load right now is 0. Status is up. And here's the receive. Max bandwidth is 500. Bandwidth used. Yeah. Here's our other border router. As you can see, there's not really any traffic on here. So let's go ahead and generate some traffic. From router 1, which is down here. It's really a host. We're just going to send a bunch of pings to these loopbacks over here. Wait. Excuse me, 30.1 is 0 to 11. And I'm not sure which route this will take, actually, currently. It's probably going to take router 4. So it should show down there. All right, now we're at bandwidth used, 31 kilobits per second. which is not a lot, right? But if we continue sending these and change the size, like I think that's what this lab does. It's not really a lab, folks. They didn't really give us much of a lab here. Yeah, they don't really. Yeah, unfortunate that this network lesson, I'll say, fell a little short in this area, because normally at the end it will show you all the configurations, and this was not done here for some reason. I don't know why, but also someone even asked in the forums, like, could you please provide the configurations, and they did not for some reason. Go figure. So what I end up doing, I think, is using another, let me find it, folks. There's another link here for the lab I'm using. It's not actually out of Network Lessons. It's out of one on the Cisco wiki. Yeah, PfR lab right here. And this only had so much detail as well. And it's kind of not meant to be sort of learning material per se, because it doesn't really tell you how to, yeah, it's pretty limited. It's kind of odd. Maybe that's just because it's complicated, but they didn't really structure the learning material as useful as we have seen some of the other labs. Let me look at some of these other lessons. It seems like there was some more detail here. Oh yeah, this was kind of cool. Okay, so routers, let's go to one of these routers here. I kind of like this trick. We're going to go to router 11, and we're going to turn on service TCP small servers. And then we're going to come back over to, now why did it put it up there? This is already open. Okay, I don't understand you. Weird. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do open here. Telnet 30.1.1.11.19. I better stop it. I think it might lock us up here. That's right, I did this before and I locked up the we could kill the line, right? That will definitely generate some traffic though, won't it? Oh, and here we go. So 100% of traffic controls with default policies are not in policy because we're at 30%. So in this case, we're going to do show PFR. Master border detail. Yeah, look, that pushed it over 47, the bandwidth used, 47 kilobits, which is still not hitting above 10%, is it? The load percent is 9. So we're gonna have to reduce this percentage. Let's see, Mentor says, Kyle's blog for Iowa is a great read, explains PFR setup, how he lab. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you find a link on that, man, that'd be great. All right, did I lose some information in here? No. Okay, so I think that's defined on the interfaces. Yeah, load interval is 30. So we're going to change that. Interface yeah, 0, 1, load interval. Oh, that's a delay. That's another timer, folks. That's how often do we poll for the load. The default is like 5 minutes or something. So that's not really what we want. What we want is to change the max range utilization percent to 10. Let's change that to 5. Percent 5. That's pretty radical. Like, wow, this still. We have terminated the service. Show line, clear line. TTY. Oh, thank you, sir. Show line TTY. $578. Yes. $579. Yes. I think this is just still in the buffer, to be honest. Yeah, this is just probably still in the buffer. That's okay. We'll let it keep running. Show. Hey, thank you for those links, mentors. Let's check them out in random. Okay, nice. Where did that come from? Sent 10. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. I don't know what's happening. Discovered exit BR if interface Jazz1 for traffic class. Okay, so what it's doing, it should have changed the routing for this. On router 2. Show IP route. That'll do that here. Show. Okay, 1030 dot BGP 150/0. Okay, interesting. Let's see if we can do show Is OER even an option? This is what the network lesson says, OER. No. PFR. Order. Routes. Just show me all the routes, man. Static. Which router do I do? Oh, I do that over here, right? Show PFR border routes. Okay, it's not added any static routes here. Okay, normally when there is an override, you will see a P, overrides from PFR. I don't see any overrides yet. Oh, we might just have to restart this guy. Did that do it? He's checked out, like he's gone. He's like, see ya. Let's reboot him. No, don't do that. Stop. Thank you. It went gray, it went blue, and then it went gray. All right, let's start. Very good. Good boy. Show PFR border. Oh, okay, yeah, 30.1.0.0. So this is where we get details from his perspective. Unreachable. U. Show IP route. Okay, we're using OSPF here. 30.1.0.0 is 110. BGP 150. Okay, I set it so that OSPF would win. Does he not see it in OSPF? You should be learning this route through OSPF. We might have another routing issue here. Router 6. Yeah, that's one thing you learn about PFR is that PFR can only work if you have a route already. Just curious, if we get these CCIE numbers, we start deep diving to retain all this info. I know for myself, I'm pushing myself to my limits. So much to retain and master. After I get the number, I'm going to start working more on automation, I think. And then probably come back in a year and get ready to retake the written a year out. Okay, that's okay. He should not be running, but he should be redistributing this route to router 4. Router 4 should be learning it from his OSPF neighbor. Let's see, who's going to learn it OSPF? No, these will always be learned by BGP, redistributed OSPF, and then that's how router 2 will learn it and router 3 will learn it. but we don't want them to advertise it back. I may have messed up with the administrator. I may have a flapping route here. All right, let's go back to router 4. Now I've got it at BGP at 150. Oh, so the problem we were trying to solve is these border routers would redistribute these prefixes into OSPF, and they would get advertised to these other routers. Then the database, you get LSAs with the OSPF routes, and they would actually be a lower administrative distance. And you get sort of a flapping condition here. So what I did is I changed the administrative distance of BGP to 150. That should actually be lower though. The problem is we're redistributing OSPF into here, and it was being learned back this other way. So I think what we need to do is filter any, we should probably use the same AS number. That'll fix that. Yeah, let's do that. That'll fix that problem. Yeah, see, we've kind of made this whole thing a little more interesting through our routing. Whereas if we were just using static routes, it would be a lot easier to do the PFR lab itself. I was thinking of attempting CCIE security, yet I may just relish in achieving this goal and ride off into sunset law. And who knows what this journey has in store for me. I see what you mean, mentors. Yeah, I would say after CCIE, I'm taking a break, one. And I can tell you, my reward is I'm gonna buy a new video game computer, and there's one game I want to play, and I want to play it for like 3-4 months. Just so that's gonna be a reward. After that, because I know it's gonna be so intense. You know, I'm not gonna just take a break forever, obviously, but after a few months of just doing that, I will. Excuse me. I am going to I'm going to start doing more cloud stuff and automation and programmability. Whether I get a cert, I'm sure I will at some point target a cert. And who knows, I may change my mind and go after the service provider, you know. Good question, though. All right, so let's set these administrative distances back and put them in the same show run section BGP. Yeah, we need to fix this. We're getting older, my man. At times ticking. It is. I don't want to wait forever to go for another cert either, right? Router BGP 65001. No distance BGP 150 200 200. Yeah, let's do that, and then let's come over here. Show. We're gonna say no router BGP 65002, router BGP 65001, neighbor 10.5.7.7, remote AS200. And I don't even think we need to redistribute OSPF that way. Let's see. Okay, I can't see all the stuff I needed to see up here because there's so many log messages. Stop. Okay, we need this one. I know about these changes already. Don't need to spam me here. No need to spam. I know you're unhappy. I know that, you know, everything is awry. It's okay. We know what we're doing, we think. Just take a little chill pill. Router PGP 6501. Oh my gosh. No console logging. Oh, what is the command? No logging monitor. Yeah, just chill out here. Oh, I'm still getting them. Jeez. BGP is like a screaming little baby here. Okay, we definitely on OSPF redistribute BGP 65001 subnets. No redistribute. BGP 65002 subnets. Yeah. Then we'll go over here. Oh my gosh. No logging monitor. All right, I need you to shut up for a minute, router 7. And let a man work here. I think after my search, I want to become an instructor, create my own learning platform, give back, and then say I've done my best and change lives in a positive way. Then go fishing and retire. There you go, man. Router BGP 200. No neighbor 100. No neighbor 10.5.7.5 remote AS 6502. And then neighbor 10.5.7.5 next hop self. $55 is my goal, yet who knows if we can ever plan a retirement at great. Man, that would be great. Love to retire at 55. I'm probably gonna work till I'm 80, but good time to be, it's good to be thinking about it, right? Okay, logging monitor. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna start using that a lot more often for these little crybaby routers here. Okay, logging monitor, logging console. Show BGP IP4 uni summary. Local AS number, good. No prefixes. What is up with that? Show BGP IP4 uni sum. There we go. There's 10. Received. Why aren't you sending me any prefixes, buddy? Probably because of the AS number, maybe. I'll keep the water wet for you, man, and bait your line. Yeah, don't fish everything. Don't clear the ocean, man. Leave me some. Don't forget about your friend. Okay, why am I not receiving any prefixes? I should be learning these prefixes. I have an OSPF. That's okay. I should still learn them as a eBGP prefix, like I am on router 4. Like, there we go. I should be getting this. Let's clear IPBGP star. Remote AS. Redistribute OSPF1 match. Oh, that's the problem. I really only need to redistribute external. Router BGP 65001, that's the problem. Okay, redistribute OSPF1. Yeah. Yeah, I need to take that out. I know I put it in for some reason. I don't remember. We're going to find out why. Router BGP distribute OSPF1. Clear IPBGP star. Show IP route BGP. Show IP route. Okay, now we're getting 30 via BGP. With an AD of 20, which is good. And we want to redistribute that into OSPF. But it will still be preferred by these routers. And it won't redistribute those back into BGP. That's what we want. Show IP route. And now he's learning a BGP. Okay, good. Now show run section BGP 65001. Yeah, redistribute OSPF1, and we're doing the same. Okay, so now over here on router 2, show IP route. It's an OE2. Good. And we should still have full reachability, so let's make sure. Good, we do. All right, so I see where I messed myself up earlier. Now let's see if router 11 has full reachability here, which he should. He should have default route. Yeah, ping 10.4.5.4. Yep, ping 10.1.2.1. Oh, okay, I remember why. Because this is external. It's for this loopback right here. So we need to redistribute external with a route map. Unless we change this type here as an OE1. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just say, so router OSPF1 redistribute connected subnets metric type 1. Yeah, redistribute static subnets metric type 1. Clear IP OSPF. Question from Ryder Dev. Why do you always wear sunglasses? You don't mind me asking? I don't mind at all. I need to do a command for that because I get that a good bit. Kind of hard to explain in short words, but I copy it from Casey Neistat. You ever watch? Are you familiar with him? So he's a YouTuber. And he has an explanation for it, but basically the reason is it's more presentable on stream. One, I don't have very good lighting. So yeah, if you know him, he does the same thing. And he explained it one time, made the logical sense to me. It's because oftentimes you are looking at other things, like I'm looking at other parts of the screen. It kind of creates a disconnect. You're given the illusion that you're sort of looking at the user more than you really are. I guess the short answer. It makes it a little more, I don't know. Yeah, but don't mind you asking at all. It's kind of given me a little bit of an identity too on, I don't know, I've done this and I've done this for practical reasons due to poor lighting and being bald and how that messes with a green screen. But it's actually turned out differently. Now I'm sort of had a bit of an identity in the community. Like some people don't even know what I look like without this. But completely unintentional. But what we're going to do here is going to go back to OSPF. I thought it might have been a weak ass attempt. Yeah, right. No, I'm not really trying to hide my identity too much. I did start out thinking, you know what, I want to keep this completely separate from my identity and my job. I don't want, you see that a lot. People on Twitter will say, my comments in no way are a reflection of my employer. And I'm trying to get away from that. Like, this is completely separate, you know. But, you know, I started meeting a lot of people that I've met from the stream in real IRL, and that's cool. And they know my name. My name is Quentin, by the way. But, you know, yeah. It's been an interesting journey, you know. Part of this whole thing was experimentation. One day I do want to have like a business. I don't know what that is going to be yet, but it's going to involve social media. So part of this experiment of this vlog and this channel is just to kind of learn the business a little bit. But it's a brand now, lol. Yeah, it is kind of a. My next emote is probably going to be, you know, the shades and the do-rag. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say redistribute BGP. Now we know, well, no, sorry. We're going to do it on BGP. Router BGP 65001. We're going to say redistribute. I need to take a little break here in a second. Redistribute OSPF1 match internal routes and external type 1s, and that's it. Not external type 2s, because that's where we get a loop. So that helps us solve this problem right here. And we'll do the same on 5, because otherwise we have no reachability to this loop back. Router BGP 6501. All right, that should work. Let's update this. Yeah, there was on Discord earlier. It's funny when on Tony's stream, Tony will do this sometimes to mess around. He saw I was watching his stream, so he donned the. So I was cracking up, man. He did that at Cisco Live too. It just cracked me up. And we walked around like this together. Oh, we had a blast at Cisco Live, man. We had fun. All right, so now on router 11, we should not get unreachable here. May still be converging, like BGP probably is not converged yet, so we're gonna force it to. Clear IPBGP, no configure terminal. Clear IPBGP star. I get so involved in the lab, I don't take the breaks when I'm supposed to. I'm gonna do that now. Yeah, I'll be right back, folks. I'm just gonna stretch and take a bio break probably. But I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Just a minute or two, and we'll be back on this lab. All right, we're back. And let's adjust the tunes here a little bit. Usually I do that after a break. I did ask, it's funny, there's a game out there that I really like watching on Twitch, Escape from Tarkov. And one of the principal like designers, media representatives of the game has his own SoundCloud channel. The music is so good. He actually incorporated it in the game. It's so good, and it would be perfect for the stream. So I sent him an email asking him if I could use his music. That would be so cool. It's probably never gonna happen, but it's a very like interactive community. Like the developers, the company that makes the game, they interact with the community a lot, so it'd be really cool, but we'll see. All right, so now let's look at our routing tables. Let's see. Okay, we still got an issue. Let's do a trace route. Trace route 10.1.2.1. Let's see where it dies. 10.4.5.2. Okay, it dies on this router. So maybe his route back to, does he have a route? Show IP route. He does. It's an OE2 route. Ping 30.1.0.11. So this route is a connected. Is it getting redistributed here? Show IP route. He has it with 20. So ping 10.1.2.1. Oh, how about 10.1.2.2? .5.7.5. Why is that? Can router 5 ping it? He can. So router 5 is in redistributing it and advertising it to router 7. GP, IPv4, uni. Next hop is 10.5.7.5. Am I filtering out the 100s? Is that what it is? 100.8.10. 100.9.10. Oh, these are not getting redistributed. The 10.100.6 or 10.6.8. Okay, I think that's because of BGP here. Router BGP 200 redistribute connected. That may help. Router BGP 100 redistribute connected. That's probably the issue there. All right, let's see. I know I jumped straight to the end result, but okay, we now have 10.7.9. 10.6.8 is still missing. There it is. So can router 7 ping 10.1.2.2. Okay, you can ping him now. Still cannot ping that. Ping 100.7.9.7. Yeah. Ping 100.9.10.9. Okay, what are we missing? Show IP route. Okay, I just had a freeze there. Show IP route. 30, we got 20.10, we got 30.1. 100.8 and 100.9.10. Yeah, we've got all these routes. Most of them we have multiple paths for. Okay, so let's do a trace route again. Ping 10.4.5.2. 10.1.2.2. Not a problem. 10.1.2.1. Could that be? That's probably because he does not have IP routing on, which is okay. I think. Let's see if 10.1.1.1. No, okay. So let's find out where we can't get to that. Ping 10.1.1.1. Is OSPF not redistributing that route? Show IP route. OE1 via 10.4.5.2. That's correct. Can he ping him? Ping 10.1.1.1. Okay. Is it just not configured? Show IP interface brief. Default gateway is correct. Ping 10.1.2.2. Oh, the interface is down. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I've rebooted this router and I did not bring the interface back up. Lesson learned, folks. Don't forget to check layer 1. Okay, that's okay because we did have some problems to fix here. Awesome. All right, back to full reachability. Let's save this lab because I may be doing some... I may be getting something to eat here in a minute. It is getting to be about that time. Probably wait another half hour here. Let's see how much farther. Maybe I'll wrap up this PFR. What I want to see on this PFR before I close the book on it is we want to see a route get injected into the table by PFR. That's the goal here today, folks. So let's do an export config, export all. So we'll see what happens this week. I anticipate it's only going to take me 2 or 3 days to read through the rest of this book. I'm still going to do it, but what will happen is we'll reevaluate this timeline. You know, I gave myself 9 days, but it ain't going to take 9 days, I can tell you that now. And there's not really many exercises in here either, folks. Kind of disappointing, but we'll do a reevaluation. I'll just finish it when I finish it, and then when I do, I'll come back here and we'll just launch the reeval, and then we're going to go back, see our weak areas, or in a ranking of ABC. We'll see which C areas we have and what we need to do to bolster those areas. And every day I'm going to start reviewing more and more of the boson and the flashcards. All right, so now what we want to do is check show PFR border. All right, I've got delay, like it's thinking. Master border detail. Okay, so we want to push this load It's now at 5%. We're gonna push it over the limit here. By the way, we need to look at our modes. PFR. Oh, let's do show PFR master. Mode route control is on by default. Good. Okay. Mode monitor. Here's the back off delay relative hold down. Good. Probe frequency. Number of jitter probe packets. By the way, on this communication, let's fill this out. Where's our drawing? So you may think, what kind of communication happens here? And there's essentially two types. There are, I guess that's under collect metrics. Yeah, that's under collect metrics. So here's what happens. The metrics that are collected, and it's we don't really see it, unfortunately, because it's TCP. I was hoping Wireshark would show us this, but it doesn't. What we have is, let's just copy this whole thing. Well, I like the paste here. I like that. Draw IO. Good. Kudos, man. You don't even get that in Visio. In Visio, it just puts it wherever you want it. It thinks you want it. And it's usually way over here. And you have to go find it and try to plug it in. Hashtag Visio bashing. I actually like Visio a lot. So this is our communication. And we're going to bring this over here because there are, well, actually, these are just the, yeah. So the border routers are going to send two types of, and we're going to illustrate this even a little differently. Two types of data that are native to Cisco routing that you can use outside of PFR, right? And that is IPSLA. And NetFlow. And we're going to move these here, here. And this is unidirectional, really, right? Because nope, wrong one. I still don't know what that means. No idea what that means. So we have IPSLA. And duplicate. And NetFlow, right? So what the lab has you do, this lab anyway, it says to go in and configure NetFlow just so you can see what NetFlow might be sending in its encrypted communications traffic with the master controller. And we need a breakout here, duplicate. Because we want to say what NetFlow is basically doing. Okay, I wanted that line. I wanted you to do something else. Why can't you read my mind, computer? Why can't you read my mind? Huh? Get on that. Fix that. Ah, that's a better way than doing that. Okay, so what we want to do with NetFlow, we're going to monitor delay, reachability, dropped packets, and there's one other. Okay, I need to look up my written drills because I have this in the drills. It's in the drills, folks. If you're not familiar with my drills sheet, it is out on GitHub. And it's also what I use to review a lot of topics and sort of take notes. But it's in a spreadsheet format to where you have all the answers on one sheet and I have to revise it. But the other sheet is where you just try to fill in as much as you can. And then you go look at the answers to see if you got them right. Let's do PFR. Yeah, NetFlow base is delay, reachability, throughput, and packet loss. Yeah. which packet loss is a much better way of saying what I was trying to say there, but oh, nope, not sure what you're trying to do there. Don't do it. Okay, so let's add another one of these. Caption. I don't want to go find it over here. I just want to like do this and flip it. Can I flip vertical? Flip, yeah, or horizontal, I should say. Oh, that only flip. Okay, let's move our, no. Redo, Control Y. Isn't that redo on most applications? I think it is. Where's the other caption? Annotation. Perdón. Rotate shape, flip, horizontal. All right, we're gonna work with it. IPSLA is also delay, reachability, and jitter, and moss score. And we're gonna flip him, is it that way? So we don't want to make that bigger. We want to move just the text. Other way. You just are not going to do what I want you to, are you? Frustration level rising. Okay, this is kind of ugly, but it works. Okay, delay, reachability, jitter, and moss score. And confirm, yes. So active and passive. We'll get into that in a minute. I actually need to research that a little more. So that's how the measuring works. So let's look at that here. And as we can see, these are your, it has jitter here. And I don't think you can run like show IPSLA, but all right, let's look under our learn profile though. Show, run, section, PFR. Learn, it says delay. Okay, show PFR, border, routes, static. I don't think there are any. Yeah. Oh, master. We will run this on. Show PFR, border, routes. Yeah. Oh, look, check this out. So it added, this is what we wanted to see. So interesting, show IP route. So did PFR add this route? It's not indicated. What does it say here? OER is CE, controlled exact. Well, we see it there, but we don't see it here. Is there a way to call it out? All right, we want to go ahead and trip this thing though. We're going to go ahead and actually let's do it from like router 4. And we're going to do a ping 30.1.0.11. It should be preferring this route now, I think, but we're going to say repeat. We'll do 1,000, size 1,500. So we should see something here. Okay, here we go. Load balance is out of policy. And it's saying, hey, 10.4.5.5 is currently at 0% bandwidth utilization. The current bandwidth is out of policy. Bandwidth utilization 500, configured threshold is 450. The load is out of policy. Yeah. So what did it do? Show IP route. Did it change anything? Okay, over here we should see okay, I don't see the bandwidth used having changed at all. Other than this log message, I have no indication that PFR has done anything yet. Do we have throughput learning enabled? Show PFR master. See, only delay it looks like is enabled. Learning throughput, yeah, it is enabled. Yeah, I can't really tell that it's done anything. If we do a trace route, for example. As far as I know, it would have taken that path before. Let's look at router 2. Yeah, it has 2. So net effect so far is none. Let's slam some more traffic through there. All right, it's saying passive unreachable OP prefix, no egress bandwidth. Okay, so how does it handle that? How does it say, okay, let's not use that route anymore? Yeah, there's still 2 ways to get there. It's still going to go that way. Yep, no change. Is that because it can't make a change? I don't know. Let's look at the... It's out of policy. Okay, so what are you going to do about it, buddy? Transmit load, receive load is 100. Yeah, no duh. Show for master border detail. Yeah, I see. What are you gonna do about it? Look at that load percent. Now this is router, yeah, look at that load percent. So it recognizes it. How does it change any of the routing though? .1.0.0 is still going the same old way. I mean, it should be, well, it is OSPF, so that is, so what it should do is do PBR. You know what we should do is EIGRP or static routes. Yeah, that's what we should do, is do EIGRP, I think, because for PIRO, in this example, there should be a policy route now. Let's see if it did anything here. There are no overrides. Show PRF order. In bar is inactive. That's cool. Show PFR border routes. Yeah, I don't even know how that got there. Maybe this has to do with the limitation of PFR on this platform. Oh, RWatch. Let's see if that's... No init, no path. I was at path 16. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to switch it over, I think, to really get some results there. All right, folks, we'll keep plugging away at this. I'm gonna take a break here. May or may not come back this evening, just because I think once I fix this, I will probably do some reading. The rest of the, I gotta get to bed early tonight too. I just be tired. All right, folks, thanks for stopping in so much this Sunday, sharing some time with me. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk some more tomorrow about PFR. No worries. We'll complete this drawing and share this, as well as the lab. I'm going to share the lab out, like what my final configuration is. So we'll be sharing that on our GitHub somewhere. But yeah, you can follow us on YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube in case you missed any of it. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Where else do you need to follow me? Here, of course. And if you have an Amazon Prime membership just sitting around, you know that you get one free Twitch Prime sub a month. Be more than delighted if you were to give us support here on that. Otherwise, we shall see you back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, if all goes well, here on the Land Tamer stream. Y'all have a good night.